Well, Germany is marking the one-year anniversary of a deadly anti-Semitic attack on a synagogue in the eastern city of Halle. The attacker failed to breach the synagogue's front door, but gunned down two people outside. DW spoke to one woman who narrowly escaped the attack that day.
The attacker came to the synagogue, to the exact same spot I just walked out, the exact same door, and he started shooting it down. Life is now before and after the attack and after the attack.
Mollie Sharfman escaped death by a stroke of fortune on October 9, 2019 in the city of Halle. A heavily armed attacker arrived around noon to the local synagogue, planning to break in and shoot the Jewish congregation during Yom Kippur prayers. She missed the assailant by only a few minutes, after stepping out for some fresh air in a nearby park, shortly before he arrived.
In my imagination, it felt farther away. Like the park is far away, it's protected, but actually when I went back, I realized it was so much closer. The close call of this is just beyond comprehension. As things got back to normal, that's when things got more difficult. So slowly I started feeling kind of symptoms, really hard to keep up with everything, a lot of stress and anxiety.
A few months after the attack, Mollie was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. She started treatment and at the same time found great comfort in the very target of the attack, her Jewish identity and community. The communal events such as prayers and singing are part of her therapy.
Singing is one of my connections to Judaism, and if you look at some of these words, they're really connected to kind of what I went through of that even in the hard times, God is there, this connection that God is standing by me, even in the more difficult times, no matter what happens.
A year after the attack, the alleged perpetrator has gone on trial in the city of Magdeburg. Mollie Sharfman was the first witness to give testimony in front of the judges. In her statement, she referred to her family history.
My grandfather went through a very terrible thing. He lost his whole family in the Holocaust, and he was able to live a life and, give us love. And he was a cantor, and he loved Judaism, and he taught us Judaism. I was very close to him. So that's what made me feel the strongest, was this connection with him. And I felt it was important to share that in the court. And that is resilience.
Mollie Sharfman says her grandfather was the only member of the family to survive the Holocaust. But Halle has also made a survivor out of her. Every year on Yom Kippur, her grandfather would say a prayer for his granddaughter in hopes of protecting her from any harm. She says on October 9, 2019, his hopes were fulfilled.
This attacker, this person, cannot take away what my grandfather taught me, what my grandfather gave me. I stood on my own 2 feet, I'm strong, and I was able to stand in front of a person who has so much hate and tried to hurt us, to be able to say to him, you messed with the wrong people.
The attack in Halle was the most serious anti-Semitic attack in post-reunification Germany. But it's also part of a worrying trend. The Interior Ministry says crimes motivated by anti-Semitism have risen steadily in recent years, reaching a high of more than 2,000 cases last year. Just last Sunday, a man was assaulted and wounded outside a synagogue in Hamburg. Police confirmed that the motive was anti-Semitism. Last month, Chancellor Angela Merkel said it was a cause of great concern to her that many Jews no longer feel safe in Germany. For more on this, I'm joined by Marina Weisband. She's a member of the German Green Party and also a member of the Jewish community here in Berlin. Thanks very much for joining us. As we just heard, anti-Semitism is on the rise and Germany's foreign minister says it's the biggest threat in the country. Do you feel that in your daily life?
I feel, and many friends tell me, that we are more afraid of being Jewish in Germany today than we have been half a year ago or a year ago. This trend started to rise a couple of years ago, being forced by the platforms, by social media, where anti-Semitic conspiracy theories thrive. So the attack on Halle was not a surprise to many. We were rather expecting when will something happen and where will something happen. And we are expecting the next terror attacks today as the likes of QAnon spread around the globe telling anti-Semitic conspiracy theories.
Well, that certainly is alarming. I mean, it's been a year since the attack now in Halle. Has Germany been doing enough?
I don't think that Germany has been doing enough. We are particularly concerned with the far-right extremist views within the police, because whenever I receive death threats or rape threats, what I do is I go to the police. But we are now learning of more and more police stations where right-wing radical chats groups, preparation groups have been uncovered. And the ministers of the Interior aren't doing a very good job at uncovering these structures. On the contrary, they are saying that we do not need studies because the police has no problem of racism. And the synagogues aren't protected well enough. And where they are, the minister-president has been saying, Stahlknecht has been saying, well, the police are needed elsewhere as well. And because we have to protect the Jews, basically we cannot react as fast to calls of the police from the other citizens.
Well, not doing enough then. What do you say Germany should be doing to tackle the problem?
I think that we need to look at the larger structural issues, that is anti-Semitic and racist structures within the police. That is what is going on social media, monitor it more closely, understand these groups more closely, and act before words and humor turn into violence. Because right now, police is not taking very seriously what is happening online because it doesn't seem real.
Marina Weisband, member of the German Green Party, thanks very much for speaking to Deutsche Welle.